Coach, what did you think of Drew Beam's start today, and what was behind the decision to not let him finish out the sixth?
Yeah, I thought he was good. I mean, they've got obviously the ability to hit the fastball, and they're also really good at adjusting with 2 strikes. So he knew he was going to have a fight from the lineup he faced today. I don't think he was quite as in sync or as a rhythm as he was at Minute Maid, and yet he gave us, just as many, if not a couple more outs, and I thought that spoke to his competitiveness for sure. If you get to that point in the game, we had a long inning before he got out there, so he could have even switched there. But his best inning was maybe his 5th inning, so wanted him to go back out, but really didn't want him to throw over more than about 10 pitches in that particular sequence. And I think, too, we're eager to get repetitions for Mark McLaughlin to be able to come in a jam. I mean, he and Mabry have been those type of guys for us in the past, and I think they will be in the future, too. So the more we can get them out there in those type of scenarios, the better.
For the pitching staff as a whole, if y'all come up with a set, like, this guy's going to set up, this guy's going to close, or you just play it by ear, game by game?
No, I think we've kind of gotten to that point. I mean, you gotta pay attention to what's going on in scrimmages, but then when the season starts, it is different, whether you like it or not. So that's when you really get more valuable information than you had in January and the first part of February. And by now, we've got a good amount of information. I mean, nothing's ever set in stone. But we kind of have 4 starters at this point that we rely on. We've got a closer, and then we've got Camden Sewell, who can start, close, long relief, short relief, is kind of our X factor guy. And then, as I mentioned, Mabes and Mark are those jam guys. And we're fortunate enough. There's a couple more names I could mention, like Mr. Joyce, that add some depth to that bullpen.
Coach, how important was it for Jordan Beck to get his back going today as we head into conference play?
It was important and is not, a surprise. He stayed in here in the cage for about an extra hour yesterday. Spring break practice on a Saturday can't be the most exciting thing for these guys. But, he stayed in here with Coach Elander for about an hour yesterday and was rewarded, I think, for his work. So it's good for him, and it's nice to see statistically and all that good stuff. But the bottom line is, he's going to have results come, Again, they'll fluctuate up and down a little bit with how hard he works and how talented he is. Never really concerned about what kind of results he's going to get.
There was a bit of a sloppy start to the game today. I don't know if it's, you don't want to say ugly, but I guess several times this year, a not ideal inning, I guess. What do you got to do to kind of get a complete 9 innings together?
Yeah, I think in the first inning we had a strange sky. They said the sun was going to come up and there would be no clouds, and that's all we had was clouds. And Dickey, who's kind of played all over the place, I think maybe wears sunglasses in that situation again because of the brightness effect or the haze that was out there. And, other than that, a base hit up the middle that kind of had eyes. That's how they score their first runs. So, you know what, if the pitchers are making the guys swing the bat, we're happy with it. And, defensively, I think it's been a rock for us so far, how solid it's been, especially with a bunch of guys at different positions. And they're 18, 19-year-olds, so I'm not holding my breath for a flawless game in any category.
Any more? Yeah, is there just anything else you can say about the guys? I think like Jordan, Luke, Evan, those guys, you kind of knew what they were going to give you this year, but for the other guys that are at the top of your order, I guess, what have you seen them do that has just been so amazing so far?
That they fight to get on base. I mean, if you do have those guys that you think have experience, know how to drive in runs, there's got to be guys on base for them. And we've got a lot of guys, including the ones that you're kind of alluding to or that I mentioned, that do the same thing. They don't give up at bats. We've been fortunate enough to be in some games where we have a sizable lead. They don't give up at bats. We've also been in games where we're down or it's close in a certain part, and they seem to be even more determined to just put together kind of grinder at bats, is what the guys kept saying in Houston. So I steal that phrase from them. But the at bats have been very competitive from those new guys and very mature from guys like Christian Moore or I could throw out some other names too.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.